had these 3 little girls that came from Louisiana. We understand that there was severe neglect. When the water was shut off, they were told to collect rainwater to take care of their needs. The youngest girl was nervous about being in a new home, and she had thrown up in the middle of the night. She wrote me a letter and she said, "Dear Mom, I'm so sorry for what I've done. Do you still love me?" There's a verse in the Bible that says, "As you do unto the least of these, you've done unto me." And doing foster care, there's no way that I could do it without the Lord. So with the gender, let's see, how do I word that? This is the part where I was a little nervous. The oldest, so she has identified as being non-binary. She really was obsessing over being a part of the LGBTQ community. I mean, she knows that we disagree. There's two genders. That's what we believe. We also have decided to agree to disagree on that subject for now. There was a day I opened my email, and in the email, the agency had written to the county, "Do the Harmons know that they are not the fit for the children to be adopted?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "What is going on?" And she said, "Well, to be honest, Nancy, it's because of your religious beliefs with the LGBTQ community."
We're suffering from a crisis in foster care. So right now, 28 states and the District of Columbia have rules that make foster homes affirm gender identity. You need to agree to these ideological stances. That means agreeing to use preferred pronouns, agreeing to bring them to activist organizations' parades, agreeing to facilitate a child getting medical interventions. There are about 400,000 kids that are officially in foster care. There are only about 210,000 licensed foster homes.
How'd you end up here?
I have nowhere to go.
You have a lot going on right now, okay? You need a minute to breathe.
I have nowhere to go.
Christianity in particular has been kind of the most important part of fostering. Like Jesus was raised by a foster father, St. Joseph. And having that tradition in Christianity of the importance of foster care as being part of living one's Christian faith. Nancy is a former foster care child herself.
So when I was 12, I was actually babysitting, had made some money, and came home with that money, and my mom was there drinking with 3 men. She wanted the money that I had made, and I told her no, and I went and put it away, and she came at me with a butcher knife. To my English teacher at the time, ironically, was doing foster care. I remember when she would hug me, like the smell of her perfume. She smelled amazing. And when I would hug my mom, it was more alcohol and cigarette smoke. And here we are, 36 years later, married, have a wonderful family, and God is real and everything is okay.
All of this happened mid-2022. The oldest girl had been butting heads with Nancy.
I feel like she desperately wants to belong. And whatever group was willing to take her, she would go for.
And then a few months pass, and the adoption agency sent an email that said the oldest girl has expressed a gender identity that's different than her biological sex. And so we don't think that this is the right placement. If families have to make sure that we check the ideological boxes, we're done for.
Then they had a meeting with her therapist. He wrote a note to the court saying it was in fact the best interest of her to stay in our home and to be with her siblings, her sisters. Because of that letter, then they had asked us if we were willing to adopt all 3 girls. And I'm like, okay, well, we've been waiting. So here we are. There's a verse in the Bible that I'd like to read, Psalm 139. Before you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well.